Sorry about that. So part two. So yeah, the brown rice was like a no go yesterday. So today I was like, let's try to get this together. So I ended up going back to the store, getting some more beef stew because I felt like it was not enough meat in the first um, rice. So I did that today, and so it turned out good this time. So um, I think the next time that I cook my rice, I'm gonna do it in the rice cooker to see, how it cooks in there, and then that way I can kind of like time you know, how long to cook it, if that makes sense, because it seems that brown rice takes a little bit more time. And so I want to, get better at that because I am trying to be on a more healthier diet. As far, it's not even a diet. I don't even really call it a diet. Just a better way, eating habit, I should say. That's gonna be. It's not a diet. It's better eating habits. Because when you say a diet, it just sounds like you're trying to fast, like you're trying to starve yourself. And every time that I have, like, I used to help my aunt all the time, with trying to maintain her weight. And I kid you not, like, she would be like, you're starving me. No, it's just smaller portions. And you're training your stomach and your mind to tell yourself that you're not hungry. Because technically, your mind is like power. If you tell your mind that you can't do something, then you're going to put that in your mind, and it's going to tell your inner self and outer self that you can't do something. Do you know that just a year ago I hurt my neck, and it wasn't that I told myself I couldn't dance or have fun. It just, I was being more cautious about different things because of my neck injury. I'm just now starting to slowly get into what I used to do. I feel a little rusty because I haven't done it in over a year, just about. But I'm slowly starting to, like, try to, like, move and get my body, back into the routine of, I like to dance here and there. I don't like to dance really so much in front of people, but I like to dance, like, at home. I like to just, like, have fun with myself sometimes. And then, if I'm with friends and, I might have a drink or something, yeah, I'm probably gonna be on the dance floor. I'm about to be dancing, having fun. That's just me. But, like, literally to not be doing it, yeah, that was challenging for me. To not move my neck a certain way, that was challenging for me, because I was so used to, like, doing stuff, and to, like, be limited to not being able to do it, that was a challenge. But I never told myself I'm not going to be able to dance anymore, or I'm not going to be able to do this anymore, because I knew eventually it was going to come a time that I was going to be able to lift, that I was going to be able to do the things that I like doing again. I just had to, give time. And then, anyways, but going back to, like, the relationship topic and everything like that, I know I kind of, like, drifted off talking about this food. I have dumb tendencies sometimes where, I get sidetracked. But, I mean, just be, definitely be mindful in the relationships that you go into, the people that you are attracting, the people that you want to have involved in your life, because they, like Pastor Flowers said, they might not even be your husband or your wife. But, whatever it is that you need to learn from them, try to learn. Try to give yourself grace. I'm always told that by a close friend of mine, to give myself grace, to be patient with myself, to love on myself a little bit more, because sometimes, we forget that, because we're so consumed in everybody else or in that person that we forget who we are as a person. We forget what we like doing. We forget that life is too short. Like today, if I didn't have homework, baby, listen, I would be at the movie theaters. I would have me some popcorn. I would be enjoying myself today, because I don't get to do that often, especially not, when you're talking to somebody or you in a relationship. It just seemed like all the stuff that you used to do when you were single and not having a care in the world, it changes, because now you want to be mindful for that person that you want to get to know better. But like, just be mindful. Make sure that you communicate, because like I said, my communication skills, I'm a writer. I like to write down my thoughts and things that bother me, and I'm trying to get better at verbally communicating to people and the person that I get involved with or am involved with, so that we can kind of disagree to not disagree, and then to move on from it. I think so many of us, we think that a disagreement is like a fight. It's not, because a fight, you want to be hyped up, you want to be cussing each other out. Some of y'all might not be cussing each other out, but y'all got an attitude about the fight, you know what I'm saying? Whereas a disagreement is that you listen to the other person say what they have to say, the other person listen to what you have to say, and then you close that chapter and you move on. And you just hope that the things that was shared was enough to tell that person, look, I don't like what you did, or the other person, I didn't like what you said, but we gonna get through it, we gonna work it out, we gonna make it work. We're not gonna throw the towel in. And so many of us throw the towel in before we can even get to the next step in the process of a relationship. I was just a lot of the talk more recently have been about Jeezy and Jeannie Mai, and it's like, these are human beings. They're people just like me and you. Just because they got a lot of money don't mean they don't have issues and don't disagree or dislike something. Whatever his choice was for getting a divorce, that's his choice. Maybe it was something that was a deal breaker for him, or maybe it was something that was just non-negotiable. The reason that he was like, you know what, I can't do this. She seemed like she was very happy, very happy in a relationship, very happy when they got married, very happy when she was pregnant, very happy after the baby was born. But stuff changes. People realize that, maybe I moved too quick, or maybe I did something that I probably shouldn't have did, but I did it because I thought at the time that was the right thing to do. And some people do that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But stop trying to make a big deal out of somebody who got a whole bunch of money and rich and this and that. Like, they human. It's real life out here. They can get a divorce if they don't like each other, don't want to be in that anymore. I mean, you can't control that. You really can't. You can't control somebody who, they done spent, I don't know, more than a decade together, and then they like, I don't want to be in this. What are you saying? We've been doing this for 20 plus years or better, and now you just saying I'm walking away. It's a lot of people do that on a daily basis, and they find somebody who makes them even more happier in some cases, not all, some. But it was because maybe that person wasn't compatible, or maybe it was just they weren't on the same wavelength for the things or the ideas that they dreamed or wanted to have. Just like this black business owner just opened a food hall in Detroit. They didn't have no newscasts out there like, hey, you know, we got this grand opening. Like, everything was just regular. It was just like, we opened up a business. If you want to try it out, come down here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, people like that are so sometimes more genuine when they not sharing their life stories. Nobody knows what happened between Jeannie and Jake and Jeezy. Nobody knows what happened between Tiger Woods and his wife. Nobody knows what happened with, you know, any of the other celebrities that was married for X amount of time. But what you do know is you have better examples of the same thing out there. You got, you know, what, Denzel and his wife. You got Obama and his wife. You got all of these other positive, you know, beings out here showing you what a marriage looks like. Marriage is just like a relationship. It's hard work. A friendship is hard work. It don't come easy. Sometimes you might get mad at what the other person say, but you knew you needed to hear it. You knew you needed to, you know, get yourself together. Same way with family. If you didn't want to hear what I had to say, you heard what I said and you moved on. And if that meant that you had to, you know, X me out your life, cool beans. If you think I'm negative, or if you don't think I'm a positive being and I don't add no value to your life, then bye. Have a good life. You ain't hurt my feelings because you X me, because I had to X a couple people out of my life. It didn't stop me from being the person that I am. It didn't stop me from growing. It didn't stop me from getting a master's. It didn't stop me from, you know, getting an associate's or a bachelor's degree for that matter. I still did it. It was hard work, but I still did it. I still, you know, clammed out the water with my debt, but I still did it. I didn't ask nobody for no help. I kept on until I could get where I needed to be. But I did that, you know, I did that. It's nothing that I can change. You know, even if someone asked me the question, you know, some years later and say, Nina, is there anything that you would like to change about your life? Maybe one or two things, but for the most part, no. I'm very satisfied with the challenges that came upon me, with the relationships that I, you know, developed with people, with, you know, relationships that I, you know, had to end, you know, to be a healthier me, a healthier individual. But at the same time, I also had to learn how to be single, how to enjoy being single, how at the end of the day, we are all born into this world single, unless, you know, we have a twin or something, or triplets, or beyond that in the womb. But as an individual, we all individually are birthed into this world. So we all start off in a singleness mind frame or mindset. And once we, you know, enter into the world and we get to learning different things out here, and what our parents teach us and what others, you know, influence us to learn, then, you know, we go in the world, you know, wanting, you know, that other person, that friendship that we long to have. But we also have to remember that God is always our number one friend, regardless of any human being that you meet. God is always number one, because guess what? He doesn't judge you. You can talk to him about anything. You can repeat yourself 1,000+ times. You can tell the story I don't know how many different ways you want to, as long as it ends with the same ending. And God doesn't say, you just told me that, or, oh, why you keep repeating yourself? God don't be saying none of that stuff. Humans do. Humans, when they get tired of listening to you talk about something that they don't want to hear no more, they gonna tell you. I already heard about that. Why you telling me this again? Why you doing that again? Da 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 da. So, even now, with my mom going through what she's going through with my stepdad, because, he has, I think, early stages of dementia or something of that nature. And, sometimes he repeats or, do some things that is just probably irritating to her. And I just be like, Ma, I said, you got to remember, his mind is not here. It's starting to go. So you can't get upset with him. And I said, you know what? I used to be like that with my daddy because my aunt was like that with her daddy. And I was like, what am I doing? Wait a minute. Let me be in his shoes for a second. And it was not cute. Because some people would say, like, I heard that, da 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 da. So then I was just like, when you be trying to explain or say something that's positive, they want to be argumentative because they think that you trying to take their freedom. You trying to do something wrong to them. So, the times that he would get like that, I just be like, all right, Daddy, I'll talk to you later. Okay, Daddy. Or I would just let him, talk and say what he wanted to say. And then we finally got that, down packed to, him being a lot calmer and a lot cooler. But mind you, I still have my flaws. Sometimes I don't have always had a good patience. I don't always be like, wanting to do stuff for people right away because I be feeling like I'm always doing something for somebody else. But and half of the time they don't ask me, I just do it because I'm just like, this just look like this would be the right thing to do at the right, to relieve their stress. They don't have to ask me to fix a plate. I just try to do that for them. Or, or better yet, if I cook something, I cook something. Now you want me to fix your plate. You want me to do this. You want me to go grab this. You want me to go over here. I'm like, I can't even sit down and eat no meal either. So now my meal is cold because I done did everything else. And not once have you said, what, eat your food and then go do this or go do that. Mind you, like I said, we forget ourselves because we trying to help everybody else. And we got to learn to not forget ourselves in the process. And it's not that, you don't mind doing it, but it kind of is like irritational when you want to just sit down and have a nice meal with someone. Now, instead, you got to get the food. You got to do this. You got to put this together. Where's that at? Why don't I have a silverware? Like, make it a little easier on me. Just a little. Then, you want to ask, well, how was your day? My day is a joke some days, okay? Like, some days it be a joke. Like, I just gotta laugh about it. Because other days I'd rather just be in the bed crying my eyes out. Thinking, damn, if I had a little bit more money, what would my life look like? Would I still be happy? Would I still be miserable? Would I still have the attitudes that I have sometimes when I'm having outbursts on random moments because life is happening? It don't stop. It's happening every single second, minute, day, year, hour. It's happening. So I don't know. I really just came out here today because I just had some things that was just like kind of running through my mind that I was gonna do on Friday of this week, but it got a little busy because I had to do my paper. Child, listen, this master's, let me say this master's program is not that bad. However, I have a interesting professor this semester. And when I say she was so negative on my paper, that she like literally gave me a C on the paper, said that I was missing like half of the requirements that she put in her rubric. That it was a good effort. However, the paper wasn't what she wanted it to be. Mind you, I had my other professor who was super, sweet, positive, literally was like, good job, like the paper, explained this, and this, like it was everything that I wanted in this paper. You did that. And I'm like, what? So, of course me, I gotta send an email to my counselor like, hi, I'm so sorry. So if you get a C in a class, like, is that like passing, or like what is the lowest grade you can get in this program, child? Of course, she did not respond yet. Maybe she'll respond next week. I don't know. I do have a B plus after doing my assignment for our quiz, so that like put my grade up. Thank God. I still got to do like the exercise for it because I started it and I was just like, because I had my medical records class last semester. I kind of like know the setup for the quiz. It's like you technically don't have to do the exercises. You can like literally just go to the quiz and take the quiz, because the instructions kind of give you the answers for the quiz per the question. So basically the instructions of how to do the assignment is pretty much how you can answer the questions to the quiz. So when I figured that out, I was like, oh my God, like I've been literally like hours on end trying to figure out how to do this, when all I gotta do is just look at the instructions and take the quiz. Like, what? And then do like a couple things to like figure out, how it functions. And still, so I was just like, oh, okay, well, thank you for letting me know. However, I did enjoy, having medical records when I did my medical assistant. And so to, have it again was like, okay, I'm fairly, decent with this. So this isn't going to be a hard class, which it was not. But now this professor, like, she has us write every other week, and then we do like her labs every other week, or opposite weeks of the paper. So like this week we have a paper. So I started, pretty early on the paper so that I could kind of get a setup of how I wanted the paper to, sound and be. And so, so I was setting it up this week, trying to get that together. And I was just like, okay, cool. And then, I was just like, now I gotta like set up an appointment with this professor to make sure that the paper is how she wants it. Child, my week and my schedule is so busy between work, school, and parents in between that, and trying to have a social life. But I'm gonna get it together, because baby, listen, on Friday we going to the meet and greet at U of M for the alumni reunion. We're going to the football game, U of M football game on Saturday, having breakfast, with some folks, trying to get it together. And then, Sunday is kind of like the checkout, but Sunday is like the day that I get to, find a restaurant that I like going to, which I have one of the restaurants that I used to go to all the time when I stayed up there. When I found out about the place, it was like great. Hopefully it's still there. Like I know a couple of nighttime restaurants too, but like this one is like family oriented. It's really nice. The other one that I stayed close to was really nice because I used to get their spinach wraps, which was great. And I don't know, like they was like the only people at the time that had spinach wraps. And then downtown Flint had a couple of restaurants too that were really nice and, tasty as far as in, food goes. Now during the weekdays, like our campus downstairs, the food vendors were really great. Um, and so I used to get my gyro or gyro down there. And I was like slapping all the time. But, anyway, uh, so I trying to have a social life and trying to, do all of the things in between and be superwoman is like super hard. I don't be trying to be Superwoman though, because Superwoman, she could do it. Just like Superman could do it, like Superwoman, she did her thing. However she did it. But yeah, I just be trying to get through life. I be trying to take one day at a time. But it is challenging as a black woman to, have accomplishments and then still can't find that equal yoke. It is definitely challenging. Because, yeah, we all fall short, but at the end of the day, it's like you still want that person to be understanding. You still want that person to get you. You still want that person to be able to like read when you are just not you on a day that it's a lot happening. And you like literally you want to just feel it in a voice like, it's just not, today ain't the day to let me just give some space, give some room. When you lose that part of like knowing like your other person is just like not quite themselves, and even though you may ask and they may say, yeah, I'm cool, I'm okay, like for the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks, like I've been having like this ear pounding. Like it has been pounding and pounding. Like the more increased activity that I have, the more intensity happens in my ear. And it's only on this ear. Like the other ear is fine. I don't have anything popping off in here, but like here, oh my God, like I don't know if it's stress. I don't know if I pop something in my eardrum that is causing it to ache, or it's not even aching, it's just like a pounding in my ear. Like I can feel my heartbeat in my ear. That's how heavy it is. But I mean, I have been way off since this earache or this ear situation has been, driving me bonkers. Like, I have not been able to, like, get it together. But I'm hoping that, the allergy medicine are kind of, like, calm it down, get it, to be a little bit more functional. Hopefully this drainage should, like, clear up so my voice and stuff will start feeling, like, better. Also, on top of that, like I was like literally sick for a month. So my asthma was like out of whack. My voice was gone. Like I was coughing nonstop. Like it was just so miserable. Like I would try to sleep and I would like literally get cough out my sleep to the point that I felt like I'm just coughing up my lungs and everything. That's how hard of coughing I was doing. My stomach was like, kind of sore. Like the rib area was like really sore from me coughing so much. Like it was just like a lot of stuff happening and I'm just glad that I'm better. I'm not 100% better, but I'm better than I was. So just continue to keep me in your prayers, and again, be nice and kind to one another. Be mindful of what you do and say. Until next time. Ciao.